2023 is a year when IMAX format getting louder and louder. Is it a good idea to switch for anamorphic field of view, anamorphic look? Nolan's Oppenheimer show us how the movie can look again on film in the modern IMAX field of view, which is almost square, and square formats getting popular and popular in commercial and fashion. Don't forget, almost everything you watch right now, it's a 9:16, which is vertical format. And is it a good idea to switch for anamorphic field of view, anamorphic look, which is horizontal, more horizontal? Looks like anamorphic trend is almost past. But anyway, and this year I have my full anamorphic set. Right now I have 28, 40 and 75. This is a DZO Pavo Anamorphic 2X. They actually didn't send it to me and I actually bought it for money. I really like these lenses because they really lightweight, less than 1 kilo, with small cameras like I'm trying to not to be like a YouTuber. I like these lenses. They are really lightweight, so less than kilo, 2 times lighter than Atlas Anamorphic. They shorter, so they actually smaller, like 2 times smaller than Atlas. And right now I feel myself on, actually I bought this camera like Canon R5C especially for these lenses. It has an Anamorphic Mod and I can film in full frame. This is a Super 35 lenses. But on a full frame, actually it's a trick. So when you work with these lenses on Super 35 cameras, perfect. If you have a square sensor, amazing. So actually if you put it on like Alexa Mini, it will work great. But I tried these lenses with Blackmagic 6K Pro, which has actually anamorphic mod, but it works. It works. You can actually switch these lenses, the mount of these lenses, so it's a PL, but you can switch to EF lenses, to EF mount, and you can attach it to a lot of different cameras. Exactly, these lenses is 40mm right now on full frame 8K Canon R5C. So if you put these lenses to the Blackmagic, you have to see like almost like 20mm field of view of this lens. But on Canon 6K Pro, it's almost 60mm. So it's kind of like, it's usable. I did one short film on Blackmagic just to see how anamorphic look on the Blackmagic, and I don't like it. You lose a lot of things, but what about distortion? So this lens has pretty strong distortion and kind of like it's not real, it's really anamorphic lenses, so it's real anamorphic 2X. They have like a special like anamorphic element, but it's in the middle of the lens, usually like the anamorphic element in back of the lens, so the distortion looks a little bit different. Right now, a lot of companies, they put anamorphic element in the middle or in front, like a filter, anamorphic like filter. So the distortion looks a little bit different. You will see my test and you will see. So it's not like, it should be, how about? It should be not like this, it should be like this. So distortion, but anyway, so when you use these lenses on full frame cameras, during the post you will crop image a little bit. So this is why I like the Canon R5C, because I can film in 8K. So when I crop it, standard anamorphic field of view, you actually don't lose the quality. It's still like over 4K. On Blackmagic you can film only in 3.7K and it's already like cropped in camera, and the camera has a 1.65. Yeah, you lose a lot of this white field of view, like a horizontal squeeze, like a vertical squeeze on these lenses. The lenses is pretty sharp, but not 28. So the widest I didn't figure out yet how to make it cool on the wide open. All the lenses aperture is 2.1. So the 40mm, super sharp, great, it's amazing lenses, so I can actually put it on the gimbal. 75mm is great as well, sharp as but 28, yeah, it's still, maybe I I don't know, so I'm still working on some back focus. Maybe I did something wrong, but I'm not. So I'll play around with shims and all this stuff to make it like cleaner. But when you go to 5.6, it's sharp. So this lens has some distortion, but it's anamorphic, you know, so we have to live with this. So they are real anamorphic, but the anamorphic element in the middle. So you have different type of distortion. The lenses are sharp and they produce a gorgeous image. So I really like it. So when you see, so when you crop the image and see how all reflections translated by these lenses, it's gorgeous, it's amazing. So I hope I will have more projects to use it, because it's actually like a little bit tricky in this world, because right now, the work right now will require the vertical format, and like switching the lenses, all this thing is pretty, it's kind of like a little bit annoying. So this is why I actually bought the Canon R5C. And I'm not super happy with this camera. Battery life is crazy, image quality is, I don't know, so I still try to figure out it, and I didn't create my look for this image, but let's see how it looks like. Okay, about the flares. So great thing about these lenses, they're pretty solid, and I mean the flares. So when I work with different anamorphic, when you put any backlight, it's crazy, a lot of lines, a lot of different things, but with this lens it's pretty hard to get actually on real project any kind of like flares. You will have these lines, but I'm not a big fan of flares for now. Let's see how it looks like on 40mm. And I have kind of some problem with this lens, because you see the stripe, but when I go these directions, it's pretty good. Okay, so this camera has an autofocus, but I'm not sure. Not with these lenses. You see, so focus briefing is pretty cool. I like it. It's almost not visible. So it's professional lenses for professional work. I put it on Sony Venice 2 and it was heavy, but much lighter where if I used something like Atlas or the new Anamorphic 2X from Venus. So this guys is lighter. It's less, and I bought it, so I put a lot of money on these lenses. I can tell how much it costs for now because they didn't release it yet. How they actually come to my hand, I have no idea. I can't explain it, and it just happened, and they took my money. Okay, so I'm happy with this lens. I like it. It looks amazing. It's not for Blackmagic cameras. Maybe, yeah, so you can use it. But so you need a square sensor. We need a square sensor for any anamorphic lenses. So take a look on my test. Let's see, I will compare in the full frame how it looks like straight from the camera in full frame, how it looks after the squeeze, how it looks after the crop. So if this test was useful for you, please subscribe. I'm still trying to translate my channel and start doing some videos in English. It's pretty hard for me. I feel a little bit shy in front of camera in English. Let's see how it goes.